Hi guys, welcome to Bath Fizz and Foam. My name is Robyn Frenchman. It's Friday, which means it's time for a face-to-face Friday. Hello. Today, I have a very simple project planned, but it's something that we get a lot of questions about, so I wanted to excuse me. I don't know if you can hear that little farty sound. It was my glove, I promise. Oh my god. It's something we get a lot of questions about, so I was actually working on a blog post about it, and I figured that I would just do a live about it too, because why not? So today we're going to talk about blooming baking soda. Blooming baking soda. It's easy. It's fun. Everybody can do it. You can do it. Your mom can do it. Your kids can, don't let your kids do it. But anybody can do it. It's really easy. And we'll talk about why you would want to bloom baking soda. It's not that. This is that. When you use dyes, we have two types of colorants that we use with bath bombs for the most part. We use lakes and we use dyes. And when you use dyes, if you just add the dye to the baking soda or the bath bomb mix when you're ready to make bath bombs, what happens is that the dye just kind of stays light. It doesn't like get its full color that you would expect to see in the body of the bath bomb. And that's because dyes are activated by water. So you don't have to do this, but I think it also helps the color be more even in the bath bomb if you bloom them. So like say you were going to paint your bath bombs, or if it's for like a bath bomb in bed, I guess technically you don't have to bloom it, but I just feel like the color comes out like more evenly if it is bloomed. So, wait, a little bit too much there. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons, because it's water, they're water activated, and so it really helps them like have that vibrant color that's gonna pop when you put the bath bomb into the water. And so that's one of the reasons you would want to bloom. Now you don't bloom lakes. You don't need to bloom lakes. Lakes don't need to bloom. What you see is what you get with the lakes. You don't have to worry about blooming your lakes. Don't worry about that. Just dyes. This is just for dyes. And I really only use my dyes for my embeds. So I don't really bloom like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like really bloom a lot. But I'm working on a big project, so I needed to bloom like a heckin' ton of baking soda. And so I had like a whole bunch laid out, drying out, and I decided to use the opportunity, seize the day. And I can see that people are watching, but I can't see comments. I don't swipe left to reveal comments. I have to check. My tattoo tells me right from left, just in case anybody's wondering. This is left, so swipe left means go. I tried. I can't see comments yet though, so if you're commenting, I'm sorry. Okay, this was 20 grams of water. I'm gonna pop that in the microwave. Just till it's like bubbly, because when the water's hot, it helps the dye incorporate better. And then this was 1,000 grams of baking soda. If you're just starting out, then you can bloom like smaller amounts, but I honestly think if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it. Just do the whole dang thing. And now we're gonna make purple. And I'm gonna use red 28. And I have a little gram scale here, my little G dealer scale. Pardon the name. In my book, this little tiny scale is actually in one of the pictures in my book, and I actually like photoshopped out the G dealer part because I was like, I'm just not comfortable with that being in my book. Okay. not comfortable with that. So we have red 28 and we have blue 1. Now, we do have color studies on our blog that I will link in the thing, but I'm going to be two things on that. Yes, you can follow the color studies. Those color studies on our website are for lakes, but you can follow them and use them for dyes as far as like the ratios go. Don't use the same amounts though, that would be problematic, but you can use the same ratios. However, sometimes dyes do be much more potent than their lake counterpart. Okay, so if it's like, I feel like purple is one that's like kind of hard to like get when you're color blending your own dyes. If that is a problem for you, just get a pre-blended purple, right? Ain't no shame in that game. So just do that if you need to, but yeah. Okay, so there I have it. I'm making sure that it's all melted up. Oh my god. Making sure that it's all melted up. I can see, you probably can't see, because why would you be able to see? There's like little tiny chunks in there. Blue 1, she's like, she is disrespectful. Okay, blue 1, she's like, I don't care how hot the water is. You think I'm just gonna blend in? Don't put your labels on me, bitch. I am not gonna just do that. You know, so she's a little bit more defiant and disrespectful, so sometimes I want to make sure that it's really blent in well, if blent is a word, because it is now. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scoop up some of this dry baking soda. Have I bloomed? I can't see comments. Have I bloomed in a while though? I think I might have bloomed recently. I might have bloomed baking soda recently. I can't remember. Sometimes I can't remember like what I've done on a video, and then like people will be like, I can't find the video for you doing blah 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 thing, and I'm like, neither can I. Like, good luck. Okay, so then I added some of that baking soda to the cup. I just want to make sure I'm soaking up everything that's in there. I'm going to scrape the cup down, make sure I'm getting all that good dye. Don't want to waste it, because literally every drop of this is extremely potent, like very, very potent. So make sure you're wearing gloves. Don't dye your fingers, you know. But I'm just using that baking soda to kind of scour the jar and get all of that good color out, or as much of it out as I can. Now, in my book, the most common question that people have asked me about my book, and I need to fix this whenever I do like a updated edition of it, I need to fix it. But in my book, I don't say how much water to use for your dye. And the reason I didn't think about it is because it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how much water you use. Oh my gosh, my light flickered off. It doesn't matter how much water you use. The water is going to evaporate. So I'm going to put this paddle in and get it started, and I'm going to turn my light back on. Why are you off? There you go. Shouldn't even have a reason to be off. So usually I use a whisk attachment, but it's in my house. So usually I use a whisk attachment for this, and I'll let it go for, I don't know, a few minutes. Let it mix up. Go in, scrape the sides if I need to. A whisk is going to be better than a paddle. So I'll probably come back after the live and like whisk this with my whisk, just to make sure it's like all in there. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons, like in the book, I don't say how much water to use, because the water's going to evaporate. You could use more water if you felt like you needed to use more water. So So like, if I spray this with water, you can't see. If I spray this with water, you can see it's getting darker, the color is getting more vibrant. 20 grams is enough for 20 grams of water is enough for 1,000 grams of baking soda, but I also use about 15 to 20 grams of water for 100 grams of baking soda or 200 grams of baking soda. That's just about the amount that I use, but it doesn't really matter. It's gonna evaporate, so if you need to use more to get your color saturated, then just do that. Okay, oh my gosh, can you see how beautiful that color is? So sexy. I'm gonna transfer this to a bowl just to like scrape the sides of this and make sure that there's no parts in the bottom that aren't getting fully colored. So then like the other thing with the water is like however much water you put in, it's just gonna take that much longer to dry. So I mean, don't be skimpy on it. Don't be like, oh, I need to use this baking soda tomorrow. I'm just gonna use 3 grams of water like that. You know, use enough, right? But I've also used, oh my God, there was one time where I was like not paying attention and I just like poured water in and I got freaking tons of water all over the place. It was kind of a nightmare, not gonna lie. And the dye looked like soup. It was like so thick and I was like, oh my gosh, it's never gonna dry out. It did. It took like 3 weeks, but it did dry out. So it doesn't matter, you know, it'll dry out, don't worry about it. Okay, so then while this is going, or I'll turn it off, but we'll pretend like it's still going. What I do is if I'm doing like a small, I don't have any in here. If I'm just doing like a small amount that I'm like testing the color, I'll use like a paper plate. But if I'm doing bigger batches of Bloom baking soda, you can use a pan if you want to, but my pans are always in use, so I don't really have time for that. But I'm gonna write down, this was 1,000 grams of baking soda, and then I'm gonna write down red 28, 2.8 grams, and blue 1 at 0.7 grams. So that I know later how much is this, what is it, and I'll show you, after I finish this, I'll show you what I do once it's dried, because I have some dried to show you. I'm so sad about this comment nonsense. Didn't this comment thing happen last week, or was I able to see comments last week? So I'm wondering if this is just a comment, the comment thing is just happening on the Bath Fizz and Foam business page, because in the Facebook support group I was able to see comments, but like I can't see any comments, and I know that you guys are commenting. You're always commenting, right? So I don't know. That's so annoying. Come on, Facebook, get it together. Anyway, I make like my own little I don't know, like tray or boat or something. I don't know. And I set that out, and then I'm gonna come back later because I prefer this to like mix a little bit longer, but we'll just all pretend right now. So I would pour this in here like so, and I would lay it kind of flat like so, and then just kind of make sure it's like in a fairly thin-ish layer. So the size of the little fake faux tray I make is basically determined by how much baking soda I need to bloom. So I would do that, and then I would set it over a side, I line them up, and then I'll have, you know, give them a couple days to dry. Pinch it on the sides, pick it up, move it. Now, I'll show you what I would do when it's dry. Okay. I should probably change my gloves because, watch this. Okay, it's not that bad. I'm just gonna like kind of rinse off my gloves though, because that's a lot of purple. Oh, comments. I see comments now. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Except you can't see what they say. Okay. So, I have this kind of burgundy color that I bloomed for Halloween that's coming up. And so what I'll do is, this is dried. I'm gonna dance with the devil under the silver moon when I do that. Oh my gosh. And I save these, okay? Well, I don't usually crumple them up so much, but I do save these, and I have them kind of laying out because I do pretty much the same like basic, you know, colors. Sometimes I'll like change it up, but just save this, you know? You don't have to, sorry, I got distracted by hair. You don't have to do make a new one every time, right? Okay, so it's chunky. It's real chunky, right? So, I'm gonna take one more bowl. This is why I have a gazillion freaking bowls in here. Take one more bowl, and I'm just going to sift it. And that way it's already all sifted and I don't have to worry about, like if I'm going to combine this into a recipe, I don't have to worry about sifting it again. So that's nice. Yeah. Okay, look, I'm going to go back to it because I see comments now. Victoria says, I feel like you won't see comments in pages, but you would see them in groups. I don't know, but always in the past I was always able to see them on pages, so I don't know why it did that. I could just blame my internet because that seems like the easiest thing to blame, but you know, who knows. So yeah, so I'm gonna sift all this. And okay guys, I have a couple ideas I've been playing around with in my head. So I guess I should ask for like feedback. So Amanda and I have talked about doing a couple different things, because we like to do the big boot camps. We do have one that's kind of planning, we've had like stuff come up and like, you know, life just keeps happening, but we do have one that's like mostly in the works, okay? But I don't want to like make promises about it, but we do have one, like a big boot camp that's like mostly in the works. But I was thinking about potentially doing something that's more of like I'm gonna say monthly right now, but I don't know if that would end up being monthly, but kind of like a mini boot camp that we would do on a regular basis. And instead, so like our regular big boot camps, you get 6 live classes. So this would be 2 live classes, and it would just be like 1 day of live classes, and then but you would get like other material. So like it would be like 3 custom color blends, and like maybe like kind of one project start to finish, because like with the lives normally, like I just showed you like pieces of a project, right, instead of like the whole. Oh, Facebook is letting me know that I'm live. That's awesome, and also distracting. Go away. So yeah, that's just like something that I've been kind of toying with the idea of, and I don't know like if we would do it as, I thought about doing it as like sorry, pardon me, like a digital magazine maybe, or even just like a monthly subscription. I don't know, but you would get basically like content that would be specialized content that wouldn't be like, because right now all of our lives are free. You can look in our like, I don't know what it's called, the database or the file thing, and you can watch like hundreds of lives. So you can see like there's like tons of content already, but this would be like special content that you couldn't get, you know, anywhere else, I guess. And it would be more like specific, like color studies, like, I don't know. I've just been toying with that idea. And then like maybe feature like a featured ingredient or something. So like if it was October, we could talk about pumpkin oil, or I don't know, cinnamon use in cosmetics. I don't know, something like that. It's just something I'm like playing with in my head. Tell me what you think. Okay, so once this is done, it would be like Bath Reserve instead of being in the Army Reserve. Yeah, kind of like that. Lena says like, so like painting classes? Yeah, so like each month, yeah, so like it could be like this month we're gonna do painting, and we're gonna do like 3 painting techniques. Something like that. Okay, so when I'm done with it, I take a Ziploc bag. This is written backwards so you can't see what it says. Unless you hold it to a mirror. You're clever. Little crafty kitten like you are. And then I put it in my little plastic bags. Like so. Oh my god. Tempting fate here, right? And usually I scrape this with a spatula, which I don't have in here. Oh, scrape this to make sure I get all that color. I want all that good color. Come on. I know I want all that good color. Don't you deny me. Oh, I've been listening to like a freaking really long, I think it's like 11 hours of podcasts on the JFK assassination. So I have like, JFK's voice is in my head. We're gonna go to the moon. Not because it is hard, but because it is easy. Wait, not because it's easy, but it's hard. Whatever he said. I have his voice in my head. Normally I do use a metal bowl so that I have less, you know, stuff stuck in my bowl, but it helps. Okay, and then I'm going to just push a little bit of the air out, and then I have this sitting around ready. Whoa. So I wanted to test the color of it. So say I bloomed a bunch of black, and I was curious, like, what is the color gonna look like? You could always put a little bit of water. Actually, I do a little bit more water, so you can see. A little bit of water, and just a tiny bit of your bloomed baking soda, and you can see what color you're gonna get. Ooh, right? You could also, so say this wasn't saturated enough for me. Like, I like that, but I just want it to be more of what it's not, whatever that means. You can rebloom it. Once it's dry, you can rebloom it. You can have more colors. You just make sure you like document what you add to it. And then why would we do all this? Because we make an embed and we hide the embed inside of a bath bomb. And when we put it in the water, it shoots out fizzy colors that are magical and wonderful, etc. So that's it. Do you guys bloom your baking soda? Have you ever tried it? Are you scared of it? Somebody on one of the YouTube videos was like, oh man, I've never bloomed, or maybe not a YouTube video, maybe it's like a TikTok I had, and they're like, I've never bloomed baking soda and I'm so like nervous to do it. Don't be nervous, it's easy. Like, you're gonna get these like really vibrant, beautiful colors that you'll be able to use. You can use it in your bath bombs if you want to. I just use it as my embeds. But yeah, that's it, I think. Nectaria says, I think it would be neat if you did one where it was a project or something, and then I know that your boot camps are more, oh my gosh, I love you, Nectaria, are more of an observe than make with me time. Yes, that's what I was kind of thinking would be like you would get the info ahead of time and you could do it along if you wanted to. And I think that you would still have access, like we would probably do it through Zoom, so you would still have the access when you're done. I don't know, it's just like an idea I've been playing with, okay? So keep throwing your good ideas at me if you got more ideas. Sarah Beth says, have I been to where he was shot? And no, I haven't. I mean, I've been to Dallas, but I haven't been to like the grassy knoll and like where it happened. Kind of want to. It was funny because I was like, I told my son, I was like, why is it that it's like more relaxing for me to listen to like stories about Albert Fish and like serial killers than to like watch the news? It's like, I'd rather listen to murder, please, thank you. It's just like, that's, so many times. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep making bath bombs because it makes me happy. As long as it makes you happy, we can just keep doing that. If you're cool with that, I'm cool with that. I just pretend like the whole world's not a mad world, you know? Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I will see you Monday in our Facebook support group. So if you're not in that group, you should join that group. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. As always, happy making. I wish your nose was right there, so I would go boop, like I do to my husband, and then it probably irritates him. I'm like boop, and I bop his nose. Happy making.